when we go to spiritual monasteries, we come across methodologies and teachings, many of which are infused from the spiritual traditions of the East. And when we come to the Western Hermetic school, we find a lot of broken strands, especially through religion and the church, as far as the interpretation of arcane symbols as dark, unconscious or satanic energies. So there has been a tremendous amount of overlay on this school, and for myself I've been hesitant to call even the word magic forward, because magic for myself is basically a law of correspondences concerning manifestation of spiritual law on the physical plane. And when we get these synchronicities, which happen for people all the time as far as the transparency of one world into another, often known as déjà vu, we may understand this energetically from the invisible language that I talk of, to say that manifestation occurs because energies are aligned with source intelligence, and there are certain codes of universal law that allow us to understand that you can't get to the understanding through the mind. So it's challenging to put universal mind, because it's like naming the name of God. Because if God spoke, he would spoke through numbers, colors, patterns, codes, and certainly that's how divine intelligence speaks, and obviously through nature, through the correspondence of the seasons. The Celts and the Druids were very, very attuned to this, and then the pattern got broken by the church with the advent especially of Roman Catholicism and the destruction of all the secret societies and the burning of the Alexandria Library, and the story goes on, the burning of the witches. But my concern isn't with the story of duality in the war, so much with rescuing the validity of some of the great teachings of antiquity, which are still contactable through source intelligence. So I find that the open book of knowledge really is in ourselves. And so I'm very interested in, especially in spending time in this spiritual vortex in Mount Shasta. The seventh ray teachings would indicate that the descension of the spiral allows us to create manifestation consciously from the higher worlds into the form world, and that all the seventh ray dispensation through the Aquarian group soul is basically through business, economics, art, music. This is all seventh ray propensity. And when I say business and economics, it's basically utilizing spiritual law, or the law of one, which basically exists through nature, obviously through how the planets revolve around the sun. And that same spiritual map can certainly be discovered in ourselves and in our own very nature, and in the cosmology that I'm working and creating, or maybe it's creating me, I'm not sure. All of the essential patterns revolve around the central sun and the I am principle. Having spent a lifetime in vision, in these visionary states, I realize that a lot of what I'm feeling and experiencing are things that people are spiritually seeking for, and that it's been acknowledged for a long time that we need new myth and story. And the Grail legacy is very strong within the Western psyche as far as the once and future king. Why is it called the once and future king? Is it that there is a future template? And I believe very clearly in visionary states where we access is beyond time and space. It's past, present and future. And that I've had the great privilege of seeing the future and it's very positive.